Hey guys, welcome to Sizzling Summer Slimdown, week 20 now. So the Canada Day run on July 1st, well, I did it, but honestly it was not a good run. I was very disappointed with my time. I got an hour 15, which, yeah, kind of last year I was getting like an hour 14 and stuff for runs. And then for the TC 10K I got like an hour 10. So, and that was back in April. And I had been running, you know, all those short distances, but, you know, 5Ks and stuff. So I thought, oh, for sure I'm gonna be at like an hour 10, an hour 9. But I don't know. I just didn't do well. I think for a couple reasons. I think I'm just not used to running on trails. I like running on cement, although it's not as good as for your, you know, your legs and everything, your shins and your muscles and all that stuff. I don't know, I guess I train on cement, so I like running on the sidewalks and stuff. So that was a bit of a change. And then the second thing, which I think is why I ran so quickly for me at, you know, the TC 10K, was because there were like 14,000 people there. So you're always with people. And so you're like, okay, I'm gonna try to keep up with this person in the blue shirt. And then usually for me, then they go ahead, and then I'm like, okay, now there's gonna be this yellow person, and then I was like, okay, now this purple person in the pink. So again, I like at least could strive to try to, you know, run faster, pick up my pace, and again, I still did have to walk. But with this, I mean, I wasn't with there were only about like 50 or 40 people, so I wasn't with the core fast group. They took off, and then I was kind of, you know, in the back with, there was maybe like 10 of us. And so I was still in front of a couple people, but then once I lost, after about like 3 kilometers, I lost that initial group. I couldn't really see any of them. And then before I could like, every so often if I like turned to bend, I'd be like, oh yeah, there they are, way back over there. So then for the rest of like the 7 kilometers, it like, honestly, I hardly saw anyone. It felt like I was just running on my own, which is fine, but for me, I didn't have that motivation to, oh my God, I gotta go faster. So then, you know, I got a little tired and I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk. And so then I walked for 30 seconds, as I, you know, I usually do if I get tired, and then I start running again. And then usually I'll try to go at least 2 more kilometers before I start walking again. But then I was like, oh, I'm so tired. It was like a minute later. And I was like, well, it almost feels like I'm just having a little frolic in the park myself anyways, so I'll walk. And then I'm like, okay, no, I gotta run again. And then a minute later, oh, I'm gonna walk. So I think just, I didn't have enough push for me to do better. And I mean, I don't know, it's surprising because I ran yesterday then, just a 7 kilometer, and again, just maybe it was because it's on the cement. I even tried to do a switch up my route. I didn't do my usual route though. But you know, my splits were so much faster. On the Canada Day run, I had splits of like 8 minutes and high 7 minutes, whereas on the one I just did, even though, yeah, it was 3 kilometers shorter, but still, I didn't go into 8 at all, and my highest was like 7:30 or something, so, like per kilometer. So my splits were so much better, so I don't know what it was. Also, it wasn't as hot when I went yesterday as opposed to July 1st, but I'm training for the Disney run where it's gonna be really hot and humid, so I shouldn't let that affect me. So I don't know. So anyways, that was frustrating. Okay, so then the second thing is this no sugar thing. Okay, it is a lot more tricky than I thought. And it's not, okay, before I did have a couple too many sweets, but on average it wasn't bad. You know, I wasn't really craving them. I'd just be like, okay, I feel like something, so what do I have? Nothing, okay. Or then, what do I have? Okay, I'll have this. But now because I said I'm not having it, it makes me crave them even more. Oh my goodness, it's awful, like all the time. Or if I'm like shopping for something else, I'm like, oh my God, look at that chocolate bar. And I never used to be someone who would buy chocolate bars. Like, so it's not like I was depriving myself of that. Like, I would never buy myself just a chocolate bar at the counter, you know? So just seeing that, I was like, so that was really hard. And then at work with the jelly bean machine, I did have a couple handfuls, not gonna lie. It was just right there and looking so good. And then I also did have a cookie, which is awful. The doctor was like, oh, do you want a molasses cookie? I'm like, oh, no, I'm okay. And she was like, no, really, I got so many from the Saturday morning market. I was like, oh, no, I'm okay. She's like, they're really good. Here, I'll give you one for later. And I was like, well, of course I'm not gonna leave it for later. So I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I could have said, and you know, if you really want to something, oh no, I'm watching, you know, my sugar intake, I'm watching this, but that cookie looked mighty good, so of course I had it. So then I was like, okay, so I had a cookie and jelly beans, which usually my week I have like one more dessert. So I mean, it didn't change much, but just saying no has made it a lot harder. But at the same time, I have been really enjoying more fruit as opposed, instead of, you know, having anything dessert-like. Mostly nectarines or peaches. Those have been delicious, and they do have sugar in them, but at least it's healthy sugar, like natural sugar, not additives. So those have been, yeah, I've been really craving fruit a little bit more now than I used to, so that's really good. But aside from that, then yeah, that's pretty much it. So going forward this week, I only did the run on the 1st and then on the 5th. But I still am signed up for that, you know, 50-mile run, so, or like 50-mile challenge, so I have to keep running, but it's tough. And hip hop has ended for the summer. I think I mentioned that last week. But I'm gonna start going to Zumba, which is just such an intense class that it's been scaring me because, yeah, I just haven't wanted to, but yeah. And then on Wednesday nights, there's a class offered at the Y that's like a lot of weights. And you also do a little bit of cardio too, but a lot of like weights, abs, you know, arms, legs and things, which I went last summer with my coworker. We like, you know, made sure we were on it. And so anyways, I was talking to her today and she's like, yeah, I should, you know, I should work on my muscle tone again. And I was like, yeah, I should too. So we're like, okay, let's plan to do that, and we'll like keep each other motivated. We'll like always plan to meet there, so we will go together. So that's what we're gonna start doing Wednesday, and then I'll have Zumba on Thursday. But that's kind of it for planned classes, and then I'm just on my own doing probably 2 runs a week. I'm going to start trying to do more than 5Ks now because I have to start working my way up to a half marathon again. So I'm going to go for, I think, another 7-kilometer run, and then I'll try another 10-kilometer run. And I hope I beat that 1 hour 15 time, because that's totally disappointing. So yeah, we'll see how I do kind of on the cement and everything. Oh yes, and I'm gonna be posting my update on that corset training. So now I've been somewhat wearing it for the past 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll just be sharing my 2-week experience and how often I actually have been wearing it and all that stuff. So that'll be posted on Fading Dreams 300 in about 2 or 3 days. So wait for that as well. Okay, so that's it for the week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.